welcome to another episode of the BPN In Conversations with series. So as you know, our theme this year is Dare to Dream. Over this series, you're going to be hearing from some remarkable Black and ethnic minority leaders from different industries who have dared to achieve their own professional goals. Right, so you know that our vision here at the BPN is to empower all Black and ethnic minority professionals, wherever they are, to advance in their careers so that they can reach their full potential. And these conversations we're bringing to you, our intention is to inspire you to do just that. Now, with me here today is Bianca Jones to tell you her professional and personal story of how she has been achieving her own professional dreams. Hi, Bianca.
Hi, Kiki. Thank you for having me today.
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for saying yes to doing this conversation with us.
You are most welcome. Should I say a little bit about myself?
Sorry, say that again.
Should I say a little bit about myself?
Of course. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into it. Go for it.
Oh, thank you, Kiki. So I am the Managing Director of EPD Training, which stands for Empower, Develop People. So my mission's got a lot of synergy with yours at the BPN as well. So to empower people by delivering training around mental health and well-being and building resilience. So my company is about 5 years old now, so going strong. And it started because of my own experience with postnatal depression. I have a daughter, she's going to be nearly 6, and I also experienced anxiety. I have a brother as well with a diagnosis of schizophrenia, so lots of lived experience in regards to mental health. In my journey, at my lowest point, I was definitely having thoughts of not wanting to be here anymore. And that's when I started to seek help. So the first thing for me was getting to the doctors, getting that talking therapy, and starting to dig myself out of the deep, dark hole that it felt that I was in. And part of my recovery journey and my mission is to help others, because I don't want anybody else to ever feel like that, so isolated and so down. So if I can help one person by doing what I do, then I'll be a happy lady.
That's amazing. So tell me, what was the thought process from going through your own journey and getting help to deciding to start a company to, do this training to help other people to avoid what you were going through?
Well, they say that you don't actually often in your life get to hit rock bottom. And it's actually, I was going to say a gift, maybe not a gift, but to be able to rebuild from nothing, you can make your life how you want it. And I had that opportunity because I had left an abusive relationship. I had a small child who was a newborn, basically, and I was rebuilding. And part of me rebuilding was thinking, okay, I need to get income. I need to be a provider for my daughter. I need to be that role model, but I want to do something that's meaningful, because I was in retail before as a trainer, which I loved, but it certainly wasn't my passion or purpose. So I really thought for months, weeks about what I wanted to do to be able to give back and it to have purpose and meaning, because if you're going to be doing something for the rest of your life, you really want it to be something that you really can be connected to.
100%.
So I thought mental health, well-being, let me go into this field, let me research it. And I did. I started my training as a mental health first aid instructor for Mental Health First Aid England. I retrained to evidence my facilitation and training skills with the CIPD. I quickly became an associate for Mental Health First Aid England, which means that I was quality assured by them, and I delivered training for their corporate clients, big companies like HSBC. So that was exciting. And recently I've trained in their race equity courses, and I'm also a plenary speaker for them on racism and mental health. So it's been 5 years, and what a journey I've been on, because I just was like, mental health, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to educate, that's what I want to champion, that's what I want to advocate for. And that's how I got to where I was, just deciding what I'm good at, what I enjoy, and what I can do meaningfully for the rest of my life.
That's so inspiring, from rock bottom to passion and purpose. And helping other people, saving lives, really.
It took a long time to get there, though. You can imagine, rebuilding, and it was brick by brick, I say to
I can
people.
imagine that.
And it was really piecing the puzzle together, and it's support network, it's help from the GP, it's help from the community, help from charities, but also helping yourself. There was a lot that I had to do. There's only so much that people around you can do. They can throw you the ladder, as they say, but you have to do something. You have to climb up that ladder yourself.
100%. And as you were climbing your own ladder, building brick by brick, building this company with a toddler, I can imagine, in your arms, right? What were the strategies that you used to navigate all the challenges and the pitfalls that you faced along the way to actually come to this place where you are and successfully, 6-year-old there, and still this business is thriving? What were the challenges? How did you navigate those challenges?
Oh gosh, Kiki, I can remember times at my one bed flat with my daughter where I was just like, I can't do this, I can't do this. It was so hard, you can imagine, right? And I think she was 2 at the time as well, when I was really kind of doing stuff. And I can remember you get some nursery time, and I think it was only like 8 hours or something it added up to a week. So you can imagine you're trying to run a business on 8 hours. So it's support network, family, friends, whatever's free that you can get hold of as well. I'm a big advocate for knowing what's going on locally or in the charity or in the community that you can tap into as well as a resource. But I can remember having those 4 hours, and it was a decision of, okay, do I tidy the flat, have a bath, have some me time, or do I cold call businesses to talk about what I'm doing and get bums on seats on my courses? So that's what I would be doing with my time off from my daughter. But that's the decision, and that's the difference between, I feel, purpose and job. Yeah, when it's something that you're really striving and driving towards, you can do that and it doesn't impact you. Whereas if it's a job and you're not really engaged with it, you wouldn't do that, for example.
100%.
Time was a massive issue, particularly when you're a single parent, right? But support network is very important. Actually being genuinely honest with family and friends and asking for help, which I got better at. I always felt some shame around asking for help, asking for what I needed. And a lot of people feel the same. Yeah.
I feel that.
It's difficult, right? To go, actually, I need some help.
Yeah.
But I figured the more that I got better at asking for what I needed, actually it came. And if people couldn't do the full thing that I was asking, they could do bits. So just asking, finding that, breaking through that uncomfortable bit and asking as well really helped. Asking for help. Don't be scared to ask for help, and don't be scared to tap into your support network for the people around you as well, for resources, to share information, to share what you're doing. Really helped me as well.
I love that. I love those strategies. I can 100% relate to the shame around asking for help, because somehow you feel like you don't want to be a burden. 2, you feel like maybe I can do this all by myself, but none of us can. So listen to that very wise advice from Bianca, guys. Tap into your support network and just don't worry about the shame around asking for help. We all need help from time to time. And I love what you said about there's a difference between a job and your purpose. I'm taking that one. I'm writing that one down. So tell me then, in those moments, as you're going through all of this, and the moments where you were like, can I actually do this? What drove you to keep going?
My goodness. Kiki, I can remember times where I was in the queue at Asda and I was literally putting back some of the fruit or some of the more expensive items because I just did not have the money or the income. And there were some really difficult times, particularly at the beginning of my journey, particularly when I left my relationship and I was in Wales as well. So I came back to Bristol. It was extremely challenging, but I think my daughter, which is quite ironic because the postnatal kind of depression, she was also my drive for it. And I wanted to be that inspiration and that role model. And every other single mother out there that's ever been through any sort of abuse or any sort of difficult situation, I want to show them that you can get through it and you can get back on your feet. Yes, it's hard. It's harder. There's more challenges. There's more barriers. but you can do it. And that's what really kept me driven. And also the fact that I had to feed a little mouth, right?
It wasn't just about you anymore, right?
No.
There was somebody else to consider. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I am so inspired by that. That's beautiful. So in that whole journey to where you are today, what would you say has been your greatest growth moment, and what events led to it?
Oh gosh, growth moment. That's a difficult one. There's been so many. Every course that I do, because of the nature of the subject, talking about something as personal as our mental health and our well-being, which helps to break down the stigma, right? I learn so much from the delegates, from the audience every time. But I think if we're thinking about what really was my moment where I was like, yes, I'm starting, I'm making it. I was applying for numerous contracts for work over the kind of first year or two. And I finally got one with Airbus Filton site to deliver mental health training at that site for, I think it was over 1 or 2 years. And when I got that email, it was a time when I was feeling really disheartened. It was at a time where it wasn't going as I wanted it to go. It wasn't growing. And I had been cold calling, I had been giving things for free, I had been doing stands, like Kiki, I had been doing so much and getting childcare here, there and everywhere. So to get this email saying that I actually had some permanent income and that I was going to have a contract with someone as big as Airbus as well. And I actually remember the name of the procurement person there, and I always remember it. And I can just remember the feeling of being so grateful and relieved, because I had some security for myself and for my daughter. And I just felt like, okay, I can literally relax a little bit now. I don't have to be on this kind of survival mode, because I've got a permanent kind of fixture there, which I absolutely enjoyed delivering for them. But that was the kind of turning point for me, I think, with EDP, the fact that I was able to deliver that contract.
Wow. From cold calling to, it sounds crazy, right? Because I remember, a lot of entrepreneurs would relate to this. When you're going through that motion of cold calling, I was like, what am I even doing? This is not working. But hey, you stuck at it and it did pay off. Wow. That's awesome. So what impact have you made in your own professional career would you say that you're most proud of? Because I know you've delivered training for, like you said, Airbus, HSBC, for all these people. What impact would you say you've made that you're most proud of?
Do you know, I think it's the ripple effect. So I've delivered training for over, I think, 3,000 plus people, whether it's the 2-hour kind of empowerment wellbeing session to the 2-day mental health first aid. There's 3,000 plus people out there that have experienced me. And I think that when I get the feedback months later, weeks later, people stay in touch with me, because that's just, what I encourage and I enjoy hearing from them. But when I'm hearing from people saying, Bianca, thank you so much. Because of you, I've started counseling, or because of you, I acknowledge that I was actually experiencing depression, or, life-changing things like that. And even people messaging me saying, I spoke to someone the other day who was contemplating ending their life that night, and unless I asked the question, I wouldn't have known. So thank you for your training. It's that what keeps me going, and it's that where I get the real buzz for what I do, the ripple effect for other people's family, friends, community, work colleagues. That's what makes me happy, is the fact that this training and this education and this knowledge is being spread.
Wow. That is so profound, the ripple effect. I love that you say that, because without that awareness, without you bringing that awareness to people, even knowing that, hey, this is depression, this is something you should get help for, they don't even know they should be getting help for that. And that is literally saving someone's life, isn't it? One by one. That's amazing. Thank you for what you do, by the way. I should say that. Thank you for what you do. We talk about mental health, and we're saying, like, we're going through this mental health crisis. And I know you're one person, but you are helping thousands of people just become aware of that and get the help that they need. So yeah, thank you for what you do, Bianca.
Oh, thank you. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Right, exactly. Somebody's got to do it. I love that you're doing it, because I don't really have the stomach for that kind of work. And, you're doing it and you're impacting people's lives. So thank you.
Mm.
Now I want to ask you, for our members at the BPN, what practical advice would you give to them to inspire them to dare to dream like you have, to go after their own professional goals, right?
Gosh. So one of my mottos is, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Right. 100%.
And that's something that I really do live by. I think that you need to just have that confidence and that kind of grit. We don't talk about grit enough. So Grit, grit. That kind of, I am not going to fail. I'm going to be determined. This is what I want to do. Grit can carry you through. And grit is something that you can, yes, possess, but it's something that can build in you as well. And you need to kick down doors, not literally kick down doors. But you need to be persistent, and you can only be persistent if it is something that you're passionate about, something that you believe in, and something that you really want to do. So I would say, even before the grit bit, you need to make sure that what you're doing aligns with your purpose and your core, because you can't fake that. No. You really can't.
That's right.
And somehow, it's no coincidence that we're in the jobs that we're in. It aligns with our purpose somehow. So find out what that is. Do a little bit of exploring, because we spend so much time in the workplace. At least make sure that it's something that aligns with you in some way. And I would just say, for a Black or brown person, you need to be visible, but visible for the right reasons as well. So for me, I say network, free opportunities within reason, marketing, free PR, anything that you can be involved in, any way that you can give back as well and have that social purpose. Just be visible, even more so, because we need to, be known. We need people to find us, and we need people to want us to kind of help them as well.
I love that. I love what you said about exploring and finding your purpose, because when you're doing work that aligns with your purpose and your passion, it doesn't really feel like work, does it? Right? And that's what gives you the grit, like you said, to keep going. Right? I'm learning from you. I love this.
Yes, that's exactly it. And one of the things that I didn't say to you, but when I was building myself back up and recovering, I used a model which was called arko-tharkor. And it means basically passion and purpose. And you can use this model, you can find it on, Google. Arko-tharkor is what it's called.
Spell it for me. I've never heard of that.
Hang on, let me write it down. So Ikugai.
Ikugai.
And it talks about, what is it that you're good at? What is it that you're passionate about? And then you need to think about, what have people said that you're good at? Right. What do you most enjoy? What does the world need? Yeah. And what could you do for work out of all the things that you've just wrote down? And you come up with a few ideas for what you could be doing in life. It's a really great model, and it's a really great tool. So please, do have a look at that, because it can help people find what it is that they should be doing.
I love that. And once you find it, the passion and the purpose is just in alignment, and boom, you're off. The grit is unstoppable.
Exactly. And that's what we need. And then you can bang down doors.
Exactly. Yeah. Whether literally or metaphorically. I love that. Okay, so now we're coming towards the end of our session. I want to ask you, what is your favorite quote, if you have one?
I think it was Angela Davis says, you have to do the work, like, I can't remember how it goes. It's something like doing the work but pretending that it's already done while you're doing the work. I forgot the exact words, but it's really powerful. I'll see if I can send it to you when I remember.
Yeah. No, do, because then we can tag it on this video when we post it, so that people can actually see what that is and feel it.
It's actually gone out my mind, but it's about doing the work but pretending that it's already done, which is difficult. Kind of what I do now.
What does that quote mean to you?
So particularly in the kind of racism, mental health training that I deliver, it's kind of like going out there, doing the work, but we also need to deliver it, because I'm delivering it to majority seas of, I log on and there's seas of white faces on my Zooms, and we have to kind of pretend that we're doing it now as well. I'll send you the quote, and hopefully you'll understand a little bit more about what I mean.
Thank you for that. No, thank you for that. Please do. And is there any book or a thought leader who has inspired you in your professional life?
Oh gosh. Too many, Kiki, but I'm thinking about my generation as a young girl who I first saw, and I'm going to say Beyonce. And I said to you, I was going to say Beyonce, so don't ask me this question. But you know what? Not for what she is now, but more the adversity that she went through. So when I was seeing her as a young girl on TV, it was nice to see representation, first of all. But when Destiny's Child lost the 2 members, and then they came back as a 3, and then she went solo, all the stuff with Jay-Z, I just think, what a strong woman. So it's that kind of stuff that I was inspired by in regards to the hardship and the adversity and the challenges and the barriers. So Beyonce.
You saying, Kiki, don't ask me that question. And I didn't even realize I just asked you the question you said I shouldn't ask you. But the way you phrased it, I mean, it's not just like, oh, her music. Like you said, the adversity that she faced, the representation that she meant for you growing up as a little girl. You saw, there's someone like me on television, shaking her booty and singing, for harder, right? So I think that's a great influence. And I think she has influenced a lot of people. And she's doing, more sort of girl power stuff now. I think I saw something about her on Instagram the other day, and she was like, you can achieve your goals, blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, of course she's influential. I think that's a great personality. That's a great role model.
And a mum.
And a mum, exactly. Okay, so now we're coming to the last question. I want to ask you, because here at the BPN, we love to have fun. So we have a fun question for you. As our theme this year is Dare to Dream, if you could have any superhero power, what power would you choose and why?
Oh my goodness. A superhero power. What would it be? Let me think. I would super cleaning powers. Super cleaning powers, because that is a chore that I could just do without cleaning my house. If I'm really, really honest, I'm too busy. Like, I need someone to just do it. So if I had superhero speed to just be able to clean my house in like 2 seconds, and then I could get on with everything else, like school run the business, go and deliver training, design some training. Like, yeah, definitely.
That's it. Speed. That you want the gift of the power of speed. Just do everything at the speed of light, right?
Yeah, clean, cook, etc., etc.
Oh, that's awesome. Bianca, I'm so glad that you agreed to spend this time with us. I've thoroughly enjoyed speaking to you. And thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. I mean, I've learned a lot from you today, and you shared a lot of things that actually I haven't heard, because I've been doing these interviews, and there are things you have said that I just haven't heard before. So thank you for sharing your kind wisdom with us, and your story as well.
Well, thank you. And thank you for having me. And I hope that it's helped some people out there, and I hope that it's inspired some people, as that's what I want to do, empower and develop people. Thank you.
100%. So guys, you heard it from Bianca. Her intention is to inspire you and to empower you. If you have any of the issues that Bianca has been talking about, please reach out. You don't have to go through it on your own. I know here at BPN, our goal is to connect, enable, and to influence. So that's part of what we're doing here. I hope you've been inspired by what we've been talking about. And as always, you can follow us on Facebook, join our Facebook group, follow us on LinkedIn, and subscribe to our mailing list so you never miss any of these conversations that we're having. So guys, that's a wrap from me, and help me say thank you to Bianca for joining us today. Bianca, thank you once more for joining us today. I have learned so much from you. All right, guys, that's a wrap from me. We'll see you next time. Bye.